Good morning, guys. Actually, with some Diablo 2 Resurrected. I decided to move away from City Skylines 2 for a while because there's just too many issues with it still. But, yeah, we're gonna get some more rune farming going on. See if we can get some good ones today. I'm listening to Stephen Crowder in the background if you're curious.
Yes, that says black. White journal.
No! That's only gonna benefit black people. I always talk like this. No! 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 From Oakland! I'm getting too old for this shit. I don't understand the reference! Come on, tell us that.
What?
What's the back thing? I didn't. No, I did not. Not a side piece. So, here are some key facts. If you disagree with you, this is why they are pushing apart. You're racist, you're sexist, that's I'm the one to resurface these clips to go, see, she's always living on. Yes. So,
She was just recalling one step.
I thought that's Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald. Well, her polling with Black American voters is shocking. References are available. Let's go through the numbers. So, anyway, this track with their presidential. Right. Kamala, 78%. Wow. But she's an 11-point drop from Hillary. The lightest woman. The pander. I'm using and violence. Translucent. Why? Why the disconnect? I think it's actually for. I think you have black voters who buy the Democrat. Why is as many white voters? Hey, maybe I don't like Donald Trump, or maybe I didn't like. I get it too. What bothers me more is a completely disingenuous person now claiming to be.
What about
black,
genuine dissuas?
The black child experience in order to try and. They don't like inauthentic. Right, keep it real. Less real.
Nowadays, keep it 100. Keep it 100.
No, need to be admonished. He's admonishing. Come on.
The phrase.
Come on.
I agree with it. Keep it 100.
Another nice fact. Back pocket. Kamala has a pretty inconvenient racial back. If she was Indian, here's from DAP in 2016. California's Kamala Harris became Indian American, United States Senator.
Black American.
They're already black. She's now the first Indian American. I'm sure she'll try and handle that.
Identity politics.
She doesn't understand a lot of that. By the way, it's fine. You're racist against other Indians. Just go ask Indians. But anyway, Southern Indians. No. They are not. They quit their ways and they commit crime. Yes. And here's something else that I think rubs black Americans wrong. And I think it's because they've said it. She is the person over a border. Where the borders are, but said she was. She said she was. She presided over the record, the expense of Americans and play a lot of time left. Supply cheap labor to the billionaire elite. Also Chinese nationals. So this, black Americans not huge fans of them either. So, this was articulated on their figures white true and but I won't. You know what? That's just like, oh no. I do have 1% something here.
You know exactly where.
It's more. So, recipes of my father. Rata greens.
Oh, goodness.
It probably tastes better than collard greens. I don't get it.
12 years a slave.
That one might not. Yeah.
Want some help? So, particularly by a non-white guy, Zoom call. It was titled The President and the YouTubers anti. And I want you to see that when you watch this. See if you can spot the moment. Truth versus long black drop out of reject. Nation of 20 million people literally taking and bankrupting Chicago with over $400 million per year, and they're $65 million more. They're living the trend, ready, and they take resources as far as it's almost they're literally they're going with one.
We're in charge, still working overtime.
I'm out.
Inconvenient facts.
And just in case you didn't see how manufactured this is, we work in. I can tell you beyond shadow of any call. Had a direct recording. All Harris, and then they added a try and make it was on speakerphone. So, nothing about this again is organic. It's incredibly cringe, and just a small pet peeve. Don't like people. Your phone, move it to the ear, so all you hear is. There you go.
Hey there! Oh, hi, you remember. Oh, it's good to hear. I can't
You just know that.
say it to my little Kamala. You is going to be historic.
You're eating that.
Sean and I be proud of you. Do everything we can to
But you're gonna fix it.
Doing this you definitely. Getting out there, being on the road. Words you have spoken. Be more than I. Thank you, both.
Yeah,
Brainwashing.
you can hear the exasperation.
Good to see you.
You still had Honda over there.
Yes.
Thank you for your work. No, shut the fuck up. Take it away from speakerphone.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of bed.
You're gonna have to do a lot better than you've been doing, because I'm not gonna lie to you, Kamala. People don't like you.
Especially black people.
Nah, I know what you're saying. Not a race thing. Pitch thing.
By the way, I love how on this totally organic call, get Kamala here. Where I don't know if you saw them.
And the direct recording of the phone call.
Yes.
The direct recording of the phone call on speaker. I'm saying, can you comment below? Boy, do I hate it. It's like, it's on speaker, you don't hold it up to your face. You hold it up to your face. It's wonderful. No. Golly.
That's it, buddy. I love Christmas, so we only incorporated into everything.
You're hard. You can have Christmas all year long. They torture you.
Say that people walk around with speakerphone on, like the rest of the public wants to hear what they're saying. It's like one of the.
Yeah, I actually had someone who was listening to their
Yes.
next
Yes.
week. I said, hey,
Yes.
could you put some headphones on, please? What, you don't? No, actually, I like Dre. You're just an asshole.
But how stupid, and I'm going to say this, how stupid does she think that black people are by doing these things and thinking she is going to? That is such a low expectation of what she thinks the audience will respond to going. If I go buy black records, they'll like me. If I go say black, go do these things, well, sure, they can see right through it. Yeah, that is so racist.
That's why she's losing. Look, there's nothing wrong. If you're black and you want to talk, you're fine. Because you're being disingenuous. Yes. You lied about the music you listen to. You lied about your upbringing. And I would imagine that black America, a portion of them, tired of being taken for granted. You can comment below a black. This is why you're seeing a lot of people. It's still a minority of. But more have left since Donald Trump.
I can't carry it anymore.
That tells you something. Probably because for all of his faults, for all of his flaws, at least people believe that he's also he's lied about that he's the descendant of father. Or at least she's tried to actually keep that hidden. Father probably shouldn't have said,
Maybe not.
but he did say that, and we actually do have them on. We have them with us. Harris's father, his real name, it's not a joke, Donald J. Harris. Mr. Harris, thank you for joining us. Can you hear me well, sir?
Come on, you're coming in now, you're well, go on.
I wanted to ask you about your name. Oddly close to President Trump.
Me if you tell you, never thought about it, man.
What does the J stand for?
It's down for Jamaica.
Oh, okay, yeah, because Jamaican, yeah.
Jerk chicken.
What are you going on about?
The dish. Look, we're hoping to get a little insight here. Daughter is presumed to be the.
I am overburdened.
Yes, Kamala. A 68-year-old daughter.
Oh no, wait, she's 50.
What? That must be a mother's genes.
Mother?
Yeah, that's Shyamala.
Okay, well that can't be her real name. It sounds like you're.
No lie, man. It's Shyamala.
No, see, that's the you're making it.
Oh, it really is. Her name is Shyamala.
No.
No, look
Okay,
it up, man.
okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Oh, Shyamala, no.
Greetings.
That's not necessary, Dr. J. Harris.
She be sleeping around, you know. It's true.
Greetings.
Like father, like daughter. I call them Kamala Shyamala.
Well, okay.
I'm still trying to recover from all that child support. But now she's loving her way to the bank. Where's my father support?
I don't think father support is a thing, Doc.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
How many Kamalas does it take to school in like
I don't like what.
Got one, but she's actually screwing it.
Oh.
Shyamala Kamala.
That's
Like KURAST has a great idea. But it will be the first time.
Oh,
Shyamala Kamala.
No.
Oh, you want me here with you, Steven?
Please do.
You're very proud to have a little food from the president. But say, he's for running for president. Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhythm.
Stop it.
Get on up.
Don't do it.
It's Kamala time. Shyamala Kamala.
Too late, cut it.
Horrible.
I'm very sorry.
Oh. I thought Barack's brother was back.
Fact check true. Her mom is Giamma. That's actually Kamala Harris's mother.
Is her.
These are real names. I promise you. You take it to the bank. Right, and by the way, none of this or that. We are uncanceled. Right, that is because of you. $89 in. Better.com. So you can just go, finish. Better.com. Click the button. Click that button below.
Like the description, we give you a lot.
This is the place to be. The election night, none of the undercover. Friday show doesn't happen. The extra show, Alex Jones. We continue to grow with some major announcements on election night. Louderwithpenguin.com/. Thank you for being with us Friday. I know you don't watch. Right here. YouTube will run there. Bug Club, but we figured we had to do it. We're gonna do a hybrid of the. You know what? I'll put the bug letter. Yes. YouTube. Good month.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Alright, I'll watch that. Sure.
Walk in, pick up, walk out. Than they used to be sit-down restaurants with salad bars. Why? Because the restaurant said, who's our customer? Families. There are no families anymore.
Unleash.
So now who's our customer? 20-year-old, unemployed, on welfare, who's going to order a pizza, right? Or college students, or a 30-year-old bachelor with your partner's going to order a pizza. Not the family. And it's not intentional. It's that our business doesn't survive. You rely on all space. Sell their buildings, downsize to a single kitchen with carryout and delivery, and that's the business. Now we're looking at this problem where I met someone recently about this, and they said, well, it's too expensive to have kids. The only reason it's expensive to have kids is because there's no market on having kids. If, the way I explained it on air a couple days ago, if you want to sell for cast brew coffee cans of coffee, we can't afford $50 million
Called economies of scale.
And manufacturing plants. And we don't have the sale value on that money. So we have a fixed cost of, let's just do random numbers. Let's say our fixed cost is $1,000 per month. And we can purchase X amount of cans. We have X amount of Y amount of customers. That means we need to sell each can, and this is the actual number, $5 per can. No one's going to want to buy 5. See, that's ridiculous. You can get it for $3. Starbucks can. Why? They able to sell it at Starbucks for $3? The fixed cost is $1,000 a week, and they sell 20 cans. 1 cent profit margin, they're covering their fixed costs. It's the same thing for children.
Good day.
As people have kids, the more expensive diapers become, expensive baby food becomes, because they have to increase the cost to cover their fixed cost. They don't have the volume anymore. Kids. Then it becomes harder and harder to have kids, the less people have kids, and the system implodes on itself. Really, I think in 20 years, this country extremely conservative and very religious, because only those who are having kids are going to perpetuate the future of this country, and only those who have a internal mission, having family for whatever reason, going to have kids, meaning they're willing to sacrifice and spend the money to have the kids. So ultimately, I see welfare systems crumbling and no one cares. And I see progressive ideology evaporating just off of natural selection.
Somebody needs to propose a bill that would take higher universal tax rate back to what it was when it's taxing.
Like 1.8.
Yeah.
Like that.
The Federal Reserve needs to be obliterated, just like the CIA. The IRS, same.
It was tariffs. That's it.
Well, yeah, that's what we were
Income tax needs to be erased. Should not exist. It's illegal. It is a direct, unapportioned tax, which is unconstitutional. Yeah.
Having to do this.
slow thing.
I will break it down a little bit. There's a list of grievances in the Declaration that go well beyond just taxes, but it was the conflict around the lack of representation and the taxes. Founding fathers completely understood that Congress spent a lot of money for our defense when it came to trade policy. We had no say in what they were doing with defense and with spending. This resulted in conflict, resulted in retaliation, resulted in seizure of weapons, resulted in shootouts. And you know what? They do this. So ultimately, I see that as something that is likely to happen in some way to this country. I think it could be gradual and simple.
Well, I mean, it already is gradual. It's happening right
We are seeing
now.
this reflected in space,
But we need to get rid of the Federal Reserve.
Gen Z now is
Federal
slightly
Reserve,
more conservative in some
central
areas than
banks,
millennials, which is
CIA,
the first time in 100 years this has
FBI,
happened.
the income
And
tax,
what's likely to happen is
IRS,
that
Department of
conservatives
Education,
want to have kids,
basically all the
conservatives want to
departments.
protect their kids. Liberals saying kids are bad. You do the math.
Dramatic reduction in the military.
Here again, small business, the taxation level
what cranking up
All these things that need to be done.
They suppress the ability to be on or like you and really doing stuff. Life's built a business as well. This and we've been through this. Counselors, you have to work your way through it, and they make it more.
But we have a parasitic class of bureaucrats that refuses to do anything about
Pizza
it.
Huts are going to limit offering as much less market, and people say, and so it's really, you know, is deregulation. So wanting to, that's ultimately allows keep things local, you know, going and incentivizing small business.
Yeah.
Better out.
If I were king or president for a day,
Don't need enough.
those would be on my short list of things to do. I would get them done immediately. Probably would have to use executive order because there's just too much bloat to stop me.
Head count of faculty staff. Here's the increase in body. Yeah, and that's a private university with it. Look at what the system, various layers. Yeah, that's money that's very.
For better advice on this, I would definitely talk to people like Ron Paul.
Yeah, I think
Just get it done and get out.
phenomenon isn't limited to city. Like you see it, you know, in a lot of places. I mean, I know I work for staff managers, and you don't know what any of them do. But the problem, I think, you know, similar to what we were saying, like people.
Greetings.
Or they're discouraged from pursuing. I also think there's a level of training today, like to have entrepreneurs trying to start businesses. It takes a certain personality type, and right now there's a lot of expectations. Well, I'm going to be taxed, and you know, nothing is affordable. I'm never going to be able to do anything, and there's this backing down. You know, Dr. George Washington talked with this their lives. I think there is a shift in mentality that is
A seismic shift.
Not that it's not possible, but that idea that like wait for happen to you apply with our government to do your life or to run by isn't how we started, and encourages people from trying to challenge. That's what I really think are trying as biggest there is, right? Like they have an expectation that the government is the central part of the American. That's not true, and so the idea that any status quo is just
It's below the right now the federal government.
She's single right now.
The office.
I wonder if she's a lesbian.
Federal work.
Because she's very eligible. There's a lot of guys that would like to be with her.
Here they're coming into work 3 days a month. All working. And there's you know, basically we're seeing that.
So it's too much longer. She's only hurting herself.
The level of inefficiency.
Talk about Anna Claire Brumlow.
Right now, some of the main people driving stuff is civil service. A lot of this are people who want to graduate. And,
I mean,
you know,
she's
it's
lesbian
not
and she's
just
got good taste.
the federal government
Just being honest with you. Sorry.
and the prosper, but
But,
it's like you say, it's
yeah.
extended to state,
In all seriousness.
hospitals.
She needs to have kids.
Yeah, and this is part of
Hello.
I'm wasting time. I think she's 28. I'm not mistaken.
Part of life is if people talk everything, getting off attitude, things that are edited.
In case you guys are wondering, I'm listening to Tenet Media right now.
Getting more
culture war.
I want to go back to the earlier last conversation, but part of the thing was just to get more interested in making a difference or have values federal government. Not always clear. And maybe his experience, like, there are a lot of ambitious young people who would like to make a change at the federal level.
Wait, no, the word
How
to change.
do we shift to a door for you to end up on it?
It wasn't difficult, but you had to go into it with the mentality that you're not going to be top at day one. I remember my first internship, anybody that have to go in, have to be absolute bare minimum. That's the issue. Politics, any sort of like that. Like, I had nothing, so I started cabinets and small things. And so, the problem that we have on Capitol Hill right now is that too many people ultimately are starting to recognize that this town sucks, and the amount of output that turn is not worth it. And I went on Capitol Hill.
The return I'm getting for the input is what he meant to
I
say.
wanted to get to Congress. I wanted to send that.
Good day.
My entire identity wrapped up in my job.
Yes.
And so I started out interning from Matt Gates, and I worked up and I was communications director. Then I suddenly, and media loved it heavily, I had to depart, and it crushed me into my entire identity. I didn't work. So when we're training on Capitol Hill stuff with these organizations, conservative party, train these staffers. I was like, they have no support structure. Now that they're not part of someone who is showing up and going in battle every day. I say that you have to ground yourself and find your identity in something beside this hard
Just for
job title, because otherwise it might not be today, it might not be in years, it might be 10 years from now. That is yanked out from underneath you, you're going to completely be the foundations. And I tell people, if you don't have that foundation of faith or family or some bedrock, apart from this shifting town and watch it fall apart. Because it's the lobbyists, it's the special interests, it's the blackmail, it's all of this stuff. And you'll get caught up in it whether you want to or not. It's how it drags you in. So if you have this kind of North Star in Washington, while you're there, you're doing what you're doing. Frankly, I view it as a mission field. Then you have a
My North Star is God.
Instead of just going up for
Jesus.
fame or power or just what most people choose. And it's kind of like the NBA. You might play basketball in high school, but you're not going to end up being an NBA sometimes. Sometimes you just have to show up and give 100%. And at the end of the day, you're serving in an environment that desperately.
You're asking how people look up. Luke is telling you about political needs. But there is like jobs out there, and they hire, right? So there are.
Except they don't hire. I've tried.
Get into that's the again the president. So it's really the great conceit is that we no longer have Diablo. It was to take away this on them. Massive act. And it is an American selection. Civil service example. Today, right now, when the act started in 88%, today 97%. The reality is that they have no way to, the president has
Chris Christie before he discovered hot dogs.
and that's a way to take it.
And before he went politically nuts.
We also have, and we have to let
I've ever seen. I'll up there. Trump has just organizational PR stuff. How do you win?
Absolutely is not. This was stood up at a time for it. Eventually, when the president offering was get away from it, the reality is not the fun. A lot like he said. Wrote the book. I don't agree with it. A lot of people who say counselor relevant left to me and
I am overburdened.
with
Just for fun.
Said this when at this experts who are in the building 10%. Reality is that they are imposing a value.
Greetings.
I got an idea. The book is called The Mandate for Leadership. It's not actually called Project 2025, right? So I will buy Project 2020 from you guys, and I will make a website where Project 2025 is just all liberal pipe dream policies. And when they keep talking about it, these liberals will be like, I want to Google this, and be like, hey, this looks really great. Be like, progressive taxes, tax the rich. You know,
Yeah, we looked at what the actual impact is. Yeah, they're talking about
just have it be like Project 2025 is about
population. Bugs.
Yep.
You know,
Yes. Christy Nunn wouldn't go for that policy. Yeah, so
Project 25 is all paper.
actually, I gotta be honest, I would legit do that. Paper straw. Because then people go to Project 2025 and it's like we must ban plastic straw. It's all paper. People
Just things that don't really make sense. Project 25 is everybody gets a TJX rewards card. Like, it just, like, nonsense.
Max. Oh, is that what you said? That's still a thing?
Yeah, it's like the credit card they offer, right?
It's a Lehman Brothers.
Oh,
the
another one.
misinformation will collapse on. You know, that like at the end of the day, American people, they want to know. That's what MAGA means. Make it,
Maga, maga, maga.
you know, talking about vision. During
Yes.
that were, you know, why did so many people die? We lost
Yeah.
loved ones. Sir, we are the beneficiaries. Like with a this scaremongering is all they have built on. This is like my expectation is that, you know, whatever, like, people aren't buying it because they can't buy anything. Groceries, they disappear. Trading off between.
Yeah, well, and so many people often if there's some independent team, well, there's things that, you know, any or, you know, don't enough with it. So I understand, like, they have criticism of the guy, and you know, policies, whatever, but, you know, you said this multiple times today, like, not actually coming, it's independent, and also, isn't it good that at least some might suggest something? Progressives do this all the time. I mean, like, I could go to Tim and be like, Tim, there's my project 2025 for this company. Build a skyscraper of studios and we don't work on Fridays, and I specifically get a coffee budget. But it doesn't mean you're going to do any of it. I mean, that's the problem. The area that's been moved up, that it's actually, you know, this is the new government. But when really every organization that's out there, no matter where you fall on the spectrum, is potentially who's going to take over the grid and say, like, hey, these are things that are important to us and we'll consider it. I mean, it's not actually as crazy as the now.
Should we just make Kamala agenda and then pick with each other?
Well, so that's
And then
that's
next
gonna be
year,
that is gonna be
Gonna close Chick-fil-A on Saturday.
the major angle from this point forward. Once the Kamala Hunt phase is over, as it her is
Alright,
going back
guys,
and trying to
Go get something to drink. I'll be right back.
left-wing radical things that she said she would do when she was trying to outflank all of the other Democrats in the and accepting the mantle of the office of senator in the United States. And she said, yeah, well, you know, I or whatever. She doesn't accepts it to full border or things angle, but all of the other policies she proposed, reducing red meat consumption, passing a green, really saying that she passed the green. These radical energy saying that, well, we just need to train all sector jobs and all of these really out of touch. And honestly, I have seen some people say, why isn't the right attacking her? Well, we don't want all that to get mixed up in the Kamala just of the nomination, and understanding there's going to be a problem. They have their convention historically. They let that die down a little bit, and then for the past 2 to 3 months, just drive hard ads and targets to redefine Kamala Harris is, because they know they don't know all of the things that she said in the past or stood for. So she might get a little bit of an edge in the actually a little bump, but once that messaging, that targeted messaging around the time when all the ballots go out in the early parts, a few weeks prior to that, the American people have a very short memory. And you could probably attest this too. Sometimes perception is in reality in politics. And so when you start to see this whole conglomerate of the American electorate turn out to vote, and the perception starts to turn into, oh, I'm starting to, reality is, that changes the polls too. When people go and do the research themselves, see what the policies are, right? That
She has a record. She can't run. Biden Harris. Look, they for Afghanistan. They left. That was the history. That was, as much heard as we know from the debate. It certainly wasn't. That debate, was it really proved that there isn't? Because that guy's not in charge of the government. But who's running it? You can't forget that to take the jab in order to, where is she going to go? They want to take away your single combustion engine, your car, driving you to, well, let's take, you like red meat, you like.
Always the anti-hamburger candidate that way.
she literally is.
Yeah.
Said she'd reduce red meat consumption, and that's just the
Call it Project Special K. Have you read Project Special K? I mean, she's talking about banning cheeseburgers. And
That's very anti-American. To ban the cheeseburger? Are you kidding?
What is this? I can't go out and have a cheeseburger on Sunday night because of Kamala Harris? She's gonna take
you
your
can link the
cheeseburgers.
frame. You can link the frame. Anytime that somebody is throwing, you can throw back whatever phrase you come up. Say, well, go look at what. No, she's on record, on TV, saying that she wants to get rid of cheeseburger, reduce red meat. The whole list is on video, on audio, and frankly, I'm sure she was probably dissatisfied with the way Biden was doing his stuff because it wasn't as progressive enough. That is going to be an issue for her with these middle of the road. They don't redefine and allow this, what MAGA Inc. to sink these tens and probably hundreds of millions of dollars in negative ads. It's not been scrutinized. They have directed, the Biden campaign has spent like $130 million. And Kamala has not taken any incoming scrutiny at all because she was not at the top of the ticket in terms of paid advertising her and voting against her. Let that sink in for and I'll start to see the divide coming back.
I think the challenge we have as a nation,
Great.
I can exemplify with Kamala Harris represents the greatest existential threat to the United States. Unelected, anti-democratic appointment at the 11th hour by the Commucrats. She is Hitler and Stalin combined, but times 200. She is a commun-Nazi despot come to concentration camps. They're doing it right. And
You need to come do some classes on.
so the funny thing is, everyone on the right is like, "LOL, that's right, liberals do that." Very obvious sarcasm.
Hello.
And then the left is like, "Wow,
Good
how do you
day.
think she's hit?" And this is, it exemplifies quite a bit. They can't tell the difference between, and this has been the case for a long time. This is why woke humor is they can't understand what a joke is. They lack the capability to understand complex ideas and socialization. So they'll stand there and you'll go, Project 2025, and they'll go. And then we play that video, so I played the video. The lady comes in and says, read Project 2025. And you know she didn't read it. This is the thing. We got a stack of books here. We got conservatives coming in. They write books all day, every day. And we read the news all day, every day. And then someone's going to be like, did you hear about Donald Trump saying that Nazis were fine people? And then conservatives are like, oh, I watched that press conference. Say that.
One of the greatest examples was and somebody went out in front of the tower and started microphones of me. So what do you think of Biden? One guy in particular said he has committed so many felonies and he is somebody who needs and the interviewer said felonies. And he brain malfunctioned,
Good
melted
day.
down, he got a blue screen. And said,
404 error not
That's
found.
as far as, that's as far as they, because they have been without proof. And they don't retain they cannot justify their argument. They will either shut down and walk away
We're
or
getting-
label. Because if you label somebody something, then you can write off ever having to debate them. I'm not going to debate.
I think it's fair to say you can go and find conservatives who think Joe Biden committed crimes and which crimes. They might give you one or two things. I'd be willing to bet that it's probably like 60-40. Go to your Donald Trump's and say, what crime did Joe Biden commit? And they'd be like, that thing about showering his daughter, probably. They might not be able to give you the hard specifics on a bunch of detailed crimes. So you're not going to get, from the average person, detailed comment you would. But I think it's fair to say, because we talked about doing a show, I want to do a game show that's political trivia. The idea is, we ask a question,
There's a
you got a
phone
liberal team, conservative team, they write down the answer, and then at the same time they reveal their answer, and you see, if you earn points, you earn money. I'd be willing to bet on every episode for the right. I don't care, a farmer conservative guy down the street with a big FJB sign is going to be your average college student, every day. Okay, maybe like 70% of the time, but
Yeah, I mean, they've obviously. Yeah, the reality is that we really should be. Can't forget that censorship. I feel like that's one of the fact that we're here in Virginia having
West Virginia.
this is the sort of stuff they
Take me
want off.
home.
Yeah. Millions of people under. Why? Because they're all dirty.
Quinine, something that has existed for literally
You already know
centuries.
the vicious. But
Excuse me.
We start taking things. Maybe about half a car. You don't want your car. Why? Because it's car insurance.
I think that Americans never wanted as I like the and
never,
Look, I
1%, I think she
whoa,
I heard yesterday.
1%.
That's what I was told.
I think she's a great candidate. No, I mean she wasn't like her husband. She didn't win any favoritism. Like as vice president, and then she that's serious. I mean, even Joe Biden, almost vice president, to kind of an internet meme, right? Like there are a lot of people who are best friends. They have friendship bracelets. He likes ice cream. Like it's not that they thought anything of the policies. A lot of younger
Aaron, get on your mat.
know enough about his long-time stance in the Senate. They know enough about his history. Nice grandpa, right? And then he had to save us from Donald Trump or whatever.
Right.
You know, he was okay. Amazing he was. Then he picked Kamala Harris as his like nod to the progressive one, where he's saying like, I am a bridge candidate and local. I think, and it's very much like political theater and political posturing. But the Biden administration done nothing. You know, traditional Democrats, I think Democrats. I don't
need a key.
think that Kamala Harris really right that shit.
Part of the problem is hard time putting your thumb into who's vice president. Like, why wasn't she out there being on policy? Everything about demand. The rest of the world, right? Waiting. They see we and wanted. This was coming. They explained the other day that that's about like a 6 to 10. Really serious issue. Putting that nuclear football in there. It's a worrisome thing that like she was being.
I always like it when you get that repair mob and ethereal
right now,
stuff.
You know, fires started all
It's a piece of junk, but you know, still.
South Pacific and seeing any person
Level
you think
5.
what
Actually, I might hold on to that. That's a good twink item.
I think this Hamas Israel pop up. I expect. Because you already saw Joe Biden start to relate to investors, jump up at the rallies, and things like they have a point.
What do you need?
What do you need?
It's because the polls are saying that the rest of them not going to turn out for Joe. In fact, they're going to go in the direction either poll votes are going to not turn out at all. And you've seen in the youth vote, in that party,
good, actually.
the lack of enthusiasm for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden from 2020, I believe it was somewhere in the range of like percent difference. Whether or not they would show up and turn out a Democrat candidate under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris down ballot, in addition to the president, where it's 3 and 4% now, their enthusiasm has dropped sharply. So there is a split in the Democrat Party. The narrative that they're going to try to say over the next few weeks is that the Democrats are united. Well, the delegates might, but the voter base is not. In fact, it's starkly divided among age groups. That's why you saw all of the college-age protesters on these campuses. They come and sit under professors, and they're highly valuable kids who just listen and say, like, we're looking for a cause, and apparently this is oppression, so we're going to turn out and we're going to yell against it, speech against it. These professors have been doing this for decades, but now it's just cropping up because now the parents are sending the kids back, and you've got this larger gap of voters who are out there chanting for Hamas and against the state of Israel. And the Democrat voter base that does support Israel is actually very strong in the moderate wing. Moderates and the left wing, younger progressives are going to be split, and that could manifest itself in just this group, not
it Wednesday. Nation. The reality, I'm talking about them suppressing. I didn't learn about it. Somebody was showing a video. I was busy that day, but
I think I saw it.
Like burning American flags, walking out. They hoisted the Indian flag there, and that's right next to the capital of the United States. know,
Preaching the national conflict.
yeah, it was a riot, and even I walked in out of the Union Station yesterday. The line administration like it was just crazy. But the rest of America is not seeing. But certainly, as people go back to school, you're right. There's going to be an accentuation. See, you know, with they have trying to talk down. They have two constituencies.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And it's very trying to appease one. You know, is really they're saying about Israel. You know, they're not supporting Israel.
It's like they tore those flags down. They did not own those. Donald Trump has said you should go to jail for a year if you're burning the flag. And there's two pieces of context in this. Textual, temporary context for what Trump's talking about is that stole a flag from public property and destroyed it in public, federal property. And in that context, they should all get probably more than a year. 2 or 3 maybe for this federal property, starting a fire in public, very dangerous. As for whether you know, in my opinion of burning the American flag, as long as you own it, you know what you do in your backyard, your barbecue grill, but you can't set a fire in a public street. So they're all coming out and they're attacking Trump because he said you shouldn't be allowed to do this, and it's just like, have you considered? Even if they own the flag, they're setting fires in.
It's the what happened with J6 and the direction. This is getting back to you. They've consecrated all of their mechanisms of government side on Africa. Meanwhile, you know, they parallel any sort of African. But this is really we're at a major crossroads. Getting attacked. You know, right now, T20, we remember I was like, and always.
So what would you list, like, have a top 3 wish list next Trump?
Yeah, that's exactly what this is, Project.
Is it, you know, for
Yeah, no, but I don't, you know, look, I think the first thing is a concentrated policy. I'm not going to get after one. There's very competent people. They're good. They need to be need to have ready to get sacrificed. It's like not like you walk in to the C-suite. You're not getting a career for doing if you're there for the right reasons. So I think you know think around
Rid of the good old boys club.
Really the America
That's
First
bureaucratic
policy.
rot.
We're not isolationist, but big up this kind of endless recurring work. This is not helping. We're having crumbling. I kind of really, you know, getting vision, control, cutting barrel down, and the purpose. This has been many decades getting back in pockets. It has to start direction. Yeah, it's making things
Yes.
solution to get that.
Greetings.
How many wishes for the
I would love to see it's like we
Get rid of them. Schedule F.
They were the ones. An enormous amount of evidence posed by the first Trump and these career guys that were. And why do they want
stay as far away from what they possibly can. Because they know they're going to lose their power. Probably not reach tenure quite yet. Not going to be getting all these government packages. So if we can get in there and make sure that we don't have nations like the FBI texting back and forth, nobody will stop him. It blows my mind to justify whatever they want to justify, say that we are the arbiters of democracy, and therefore we know better and can supersede the will of the people. If they can blind themselves into saying that we are the only, then we can justify any action we take. That means agents are having these prosecutors, like Andy McCabe, lead history meeting, just compiling this Steele dossier funded by justification to get a FISA warrant that's filed. And all of this stuff is this deep state work. And if we can get rid of that and get some of these organizations either abolished or back to their original missions that should be doing in the first place, then we can actually start to see throughout the rest of the United States a revitalization. Because until we do that, we're not going to get back to the standard that the documents that we were talking about earlier, and the initial foundation of just like, where did these documents even come from? Why were they so concerned about governments, big actors, violate some of these people? We're going to be able to start to make significant changes. Predicted. And I was talking about this with Social Security. But fortunately, I'm not running for office. So I don't. And the third rail of America. It's Social Security. Grab it, you die. Oh, right. I'm not gonna run for office, but I'm gonna tell you, it is systems like this that are plaguing us. Bureaucracy is an addiction. There's all these arguments. Oh, we got too many federal employees. Can't just fire them. It's bad for the economy. They need the jobs. We have created a mechanism by which we're addicted. Never get rid of it. The way I like to explain it, we had a wound on our arm in the United States a long time ago, and we decided we're going to put a bandage over it. And after a little while, we looked at it and said, it smells bad, it looks awful, let's put a bandage over it. Then we looked at it later, and it was festering and rotten. We said, let's put a bandage over it. No, you have to take off the bandage, and that is ending those programs, cleaning out the wound, and then perhaps reapplying a bandage or realizing it has been healed. But we've created an addiction system in bureaucracies, and nobody wants to pull the plug and take the hard steps. The reason why Trump gets such a tremendous push, not just because he opposes war, peace, but it's because he's outright telling people in government he's going to eliminate their jobs. So now all of a sudden these people are like, okay, well, we're in government now. Can we lie, cheat, and steal to keep our jobs? And that's business. Yeah. Federal government is one of the greatest arbiters of, I don't know how to explain it, but essentially going into an organization and saying, like, I'm going to out, should sometimes just get members of that organization who don't want to go apart. But that's not the case in Washington. You have to go in there and actually fire them because they can just hide. That's how our government is structured. So many of these people are just hiding in these mundane jobs, have these responsibilities. They probably couldn't friends or even who have this sort of authority that they can just go against whatever said because they have been layers of democracy.
Really, it's not all the jobs. There's a great strata and currently occupied by. They are making positive. Now, which those decisions are being contrary, then that's actually the idea is to find those. They aren't. This is really what all the rest of us live. And that's. But when you have these jobs, they out. That's not that system.
Give a quick incentive structure there in Washington. go in at the very bottom, you work your way up. You're a staffer, capitulate to lobbyists by giving these boss with the special interest, maintain relationships with K Street,
Good to
and then when
see
you're
you.
tired of Congress or you burn out a little bit, you go over to K Street and you become part of that swamp, and you start to advocate for those. If you don't get your boss, if you don't listen to their legislation that they have or advocate for it, you are not getting here in Washington, goes to Congress. With either burning out and going back home or finding something that doesn't pay very well, the incentive structure is oriented ensuring that the staff and the members who come to Washington are part of that group that say they're going to change the swamp, then have no alternative to get bumped into the swamp because that's the only direction that you're supposed to go over and you work off of Capitol Hill and you go straight up to K Street afterwards, either public affairs or law.
And then that's the that's the great. Actually, you're gonna have same way. But this is not gonna be. Not going to change it.
It's a literal swamp, though. Area in the region that we're in.
We just put a lot of dirt in there to fight the map.
Yeah,
Like a bandage.
right. And I think the challenge is government. All governments will always function. Sometimes the Jefferson was one extreme is be of liberty. Pirates and Mickey, Patrick said, Jim said. Everyone always gives you. But I do think it's fair to say that the idea that we have to do a clean house means we fire. It means we vote out. This has to be. I wish they put this in the Constitution. Every 65, 70 years, there's got to be a dramatic reduction in spending. Mandatory over reformation. Going back to the roots of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And basically clean. I wonder if they did not foresee what would be. They didn't have an income tax. They
Might be surprised we made it this far.
I'll look if you can keep it.
There's the mechanism.
We had a good run. 250 years.
That's part of the problem. It's so like at least getting back. I just this is that's it. Everyone's got there's big news.
Alright, I got a Vex rune, guys. Vex rune!
We're going to start winding things down, but calls or anything you wanted to shout out.
You know, I just want to thank you guys for joining our project. Right now, if you want the facts, is where it is.
Ball.org. Advocate to ball for.
So glad you guys could us. I'm sorry to hear that Paul Harris is going to all give up on days when and I mean, I think Project 2025 is going to be the first, and they try to bring.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Operation Mockingbird assets are working overtime, not just trying to convince the American people that Kamala Harris is more than qualified president, but that she is amazing. She's a hero. And of course, one of her first campaign stops on her new mission to destroy America was sit down with drag queen. RuPaul's Drag Race, drag queen competition reality show. It's not mandatory for Democrat politicians to bow down and worship off the mess.
Hi everyone. Each day we were saying rights and freedoms.
Yes, by the Marxist Democrats, which is why we're trying to defeat you in November.
Love living and
No, actually, we're almost a decade now since we've tried to mandate that everybody change the definition. The rainbow people have had that legal
They
right.
have more than
We
one.
just want them to keep their business to themselves and away from the children.
when we fight back against the past. I'll remember.
Blah, 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 blah.
Together. Make sure you read this number. Register, vote,
I'll be sure to tell everyone I know because we definitely and whatever the hell this is.
People think Congress and government need people that ultimately out of our power. Our artists, and we,
And the Hollywood propaganda outlets through the entertainment liaison office for lobbying organizations which literally coerce and encourage own studios to create leftist propaganda. Because as Andrew Breitbart famously stated many years ago, politics is downstream culture. So Marxists targeted Hollywood, poisoned our culture from that, and desensitized the general population to things now on a regular basis. 10, 15 years ago would have caused a national. And now that system has spawned Camel-Faced Harry, who was the most liberal senator in the entire country, in the history of the country.
I know of a much more lewd nickname she's got.
President and failed mechanism those affirmative action DEI hire. And without about that,
considered the most liberal United States Senate.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage.
Well, actually, the nonpartisan Up Track has rated you as the most liberal senator.
that's correct, because communists are left and go.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place,
We have to all end up in the same place now, of course, because communists.
some folks might need more. Equitable distribution.
It's not about equality anymore. They were relatively shifted from equality to equity. It's that not everybody ends up in the same place. Because, well, a lot of people are lazy, wasteful with their time, resources, make terrible decisions, and so of course we're not going to all have outcome. So the communist doctrine is, hey, there'll be more, and then give to those who they view don't have it.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality, just often everybody should get the same thing.
No, actually, it means that everybody should be treated the same way. That we all have rights now by Creator that are detailed in the.
Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place. As opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place.
That's communist. But thank you for that interesting info. We haven't seen the liberal media lying this much since they tried to push Hillary Clinton over the finish line in 2016. And one of the main talking points is to claim that Kamala Harris was never the
Oh, dumb people. Dumb people don't know they're dumb.
Again, today's video, go and check it out, because that obviously is a Orwellian lie. Not just that the Biden administration allowed and encouraged an invasion of the United States, a standing army of 8 million people over the last 3.5 years alone, probably over 30 million of them. several decades, 8 to 10 million in the last 3.5 years, is that Kamala Harris was literally tasked pretending he was going to solve the problem. Get a load of this fake fact check. CBS News, Kraft broadcasting station. Trump falsely accuses Harris of donating to the Minnesota Freedom Fund, like bailing out dangerous criminals. Oh, that's
I
interesting
can't
because
carry anymore.
I have to remember this tweet that Cam Face put out saying that if you're able to chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund, help post the bill for those protesting now. What kind of a society are we living in when a major news network,
A nonsensical one,
staffed by expert professionals, isn't just getting this wrong? They are eyeing. Isn't just some random coworker in the office or the shop.
Stay a while
It's
and
some
listen.
drunk guy at the bar sounding on. Misinformation is uninformed. It's the job of the media to get these facts right. They can't even get the fact checks correct. It's not even that they're wrong. They are wrong, but they are eyeing. I know that comparing or situating the idiocracy and Twilight Zone is cliche now. There's really no metaphor that is strong enough to depict just how crazy things are. This is from Newsweek magazine. Donald Trump might not have been shot after all, they say. What are you going to believe? Your lying eyes or what the liberal media tells you happened? There is a ridiculous conspiracy theory spread on Twitter and now into MSNBC and Newsweek. And even the director of the FBI is parroting this fake news assets, claiming that, well, he really wasn't shot. Well, hey, it just hit one of the teleprompters. And then it was a piece of glass that hit him. Lying about it. And the old bandage is fake too. But 10 seconds worth of, not 2 seconds, but 10 seconds of research would debunk that ridiculous idea. Like Rick Suit, popular Trump guy, around a brick suit.
not that it matters.
He took this photo of that event that day after Trump got and rushed the stage, noting that the two teleprompters stood there. Not to mention this famous photograph by a press photographer, these brand name photographers, who captured the moment a split second before it hit Donald Trump. They're so insane that any and a video that was golfing, which was recorded much earlier, posted Sunday, the day after he was shot, showing he didn't have a bandage on, saying, oh, look at this, he got Saturday, he's out golfing on Sunday, it's amazing. Then left, started claiming that it was fake because there's just why did he have a bandage? So dumb that they couldn't understand it was a fake video. That it was a video from previously, and then somebody just falsely labeled it. Then when he showed up at the convention a couple days later wearing his bandage, they just couldn't compute. They thought that they captured him, so they caught him in the act. Bandage. Now he's caught red-handed. And if you want to order your store, fight for Trump shirts, online store, markdice.com, link in the description below, and save 20% off. Use promo code HEATWAVE20 at checkout through today. Might have ended yesterday because the language and the email that I got from over there said that it was good True Friday. Double check with them. It's a good True Friday. It's nice there, so still will work through today. Head on over to markdice.com, click the link in the description below, and check them out.
Guess we can just sort of play that one while here. Some doggo videos. Rocky Kanaka.
You're like, this was little stuffed animal. Hey, listen, very bad habits, right?
Oh yeah, those are tiny pooches. They're so tiny. I like
Yeah,
it.
I gotta tell you too, wait till you see at the end of this, I'm able to get him. His little personality is scary. Just really changing. Stops in to potentially adopt him. We got all that. So, stick around to see all that. Hey. Hey, little guy, can I come sit with you? Little eyes. You yeah, seeing the whites of a dog. I'm scared, like. You're thinking about
Scared
this.
because you're about 20 times his size.
Not looking at you, no pressure. Interesting about him, what we see a lot is a little tail wag, but also fear in his eyes. I don't know, weird going on. But I will tell you, like, whatever situation he's in this state, I think I can help. I think we can help. Interesting to see if we can. I don't know the way he's keeping it. Can't. I often think so small I can just scoop them up and show them something. Their size to them, they're just, this little guy probably thinks he's as big as Great Dane. And he doesn't know that he's so tiny. But his fear and his fear is the same size as a Great Dane. True, where am I? Oh, here we go. Here.
Good day.
Small, that he's so small.
Yes.
Weensy weensy.
Try again. Sound low. Try that to see if. Real slow. Real slow. Oh. After some practice, I just came in. And at least into this kennel is off because oh, hard's not. Dog comes in. The health check or if they're surrendered. Shelter makes the hard. And we're gonna have to get his story because that's not tier 6 before. He's new to this. He wasn't in here minutes ago. This row. Move this toy. Typically, I don't take things away from dogs. I don't subtract things because they don't have much in this environment. But he has no ownership to any of them. And I want him to be able to get behind him. I want that treat work to try to develop that connection with him. Dog who's scared, there's nothing wrong with letting them bite and then coming out on their own. Sometimes they can become a crutch. So, there's no need to reduce that right out of the gate. It seems it's so simple. But it does a lot. Trust me, like that can ice that they can hide behind, that they can try to move the toy, they can because if you attach to little you have desperation. Get him to attach to me, wait, and to humans. Leave in an hour, 2 hours, come back and but you're gone. What other can he attach himself?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, look. Let's try something.
Yes.
Directly from me. Now, if you've ever watched any of my videos, I don't advise you to treat a dog like this that you don't. Shelter environment's a little different because every little bit of space matters. I'm still assuming it's a risk in the situation. There'll be a limited risk with this little guy. And he turned his back to me, that would be a sign of trust. That is not what's going on. He is hoping to go away. We're gonna have to figure out how to win. Like some dogs are just scared and sweet as little person. I believe he's also probably a sweet dog. If I had to guess, he's probably also courageous or feisty. Like something in him got some person letting go.
utilize stuff. We put music in my videos, and we put an AI filter so you don't hear the noise and the stress of the shelter. Sometimes I wish I had music to do like drum rolls for like giving the treat. I'm gonna try to break off a bigger, see if it'll take it. Yeah, I think he did that. So we're gonna try to go with the bigger piece. And yeah, I had music I play like. And then we have. It's hard to take treats because treats are one of the fastest gates to action love. I don't know what this guy's been. This hurts my heart when he's little, and you can tell they've already been through big challenge. They haven't been scooped up and loved and for the family and ensured the heir of royalty. Their love is returned. There's some markings on it. I don't know what it is. If it's a mark or just that's from the shelter or something. Right there. I don't know if you saw it. A little touch there just so it shows some affection with the treat giving, and that guy not be as tough. A little more.
Real tough guy.
Just a slight
Greetings.
affection there. Okay, that one was less. No. Leave that there. He's on to me on that. Still taking the treats. He's still taking the treats. Okay. Alexis, are you out there? Hey. You guys kill you're still looking at this. Okay.
Let's pick that up just for fun.
Make today's video
A Gorgonite crossbow can be
I'm gonna
good.
try something.
Emissary
Try
of the
the
Gorgonites.
shelters. Get all the dogs here enough. Play more of a video, like in short. The part of it, ways you can see, releasing a limited edition through coffee
Emissary
and
of the
limited edition
Gorgonites.
shirt. And from the shelter, rehabilitate. You can buy that coffee. Oh, and you heard about what they said, hey, discount and
Stay a while and listen.
thank you, YouTube. So how you're gonna do is just
Dry
on
res,
this
but not very
you'll
good.
See it, feel the product
Oh.
on there. Use it through YouTube Shopping. Discount. For details on how you can the dogs, how you can donate $1 or $2, and where the funds go to, how you can become a member, everything at the end of the video. First, let me think of the story. Oh, perfect. Hey, okay. Yeah. Yes? See that? Because saw him come in here like they put a new dog in here. You saw, I don't know if you saw, little tail was wagging. He has like fear and confidence at the same time. Not something you see all the time. Wait, okay, so then why did they put him in here? Really? That's not good. Okay, the reason that one second. Is because if you wait for 2 it is less likely that he'll get it after 2 turns. So, understandably so, especially if a dog and you see a dog in this state, likely to pass him. Statistically, this is what happens. Hey. Water? A great boy. Checking things out? Hey, that's good. Tell me more. Okay. Okay. treat some because he got some marks. He's missing some fur. I can't see if that's maybe like something he got on it or. Okay. Don't really know outside of. Sometimes dogs are homeless people. A lot of people don't realize that they're some of the best taken care of dogs out there. Like that's all that they have nothing. You're paying, and you have a pet. That bond is really strong because it's all you know. I've seen homeless people that they treat their dogs better. Some wealthy have everything, right?
They treat the dogs like the royalty that they
also
are.
The flip side, there's usually always a flip side. These situations is sometimes these dogs will be in these old. They telling it that he is the That's what I'm saying. Like he's definitely got this holiday. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Somebody's like so tough, so scared to see. Not that street dog. Yeah, so a lot of times happening dogs will be sold as puppies because you can make good money off of them, even if it's much $200 and they get traded and then responsibility for that dog. Knows what? Obviously, that's missing fur. So he's been through this. Probably just trying to survive. You know, how old do you think? Yeah, certainly. Okay, especially more.
Pray do tell.
Okay.
Hello, Rook 187. It's going alright. Only gonna be on for 7 more minutes though, just letting you know. I got a Vex rune today, so going alright.
Interpret the way I like saying this. He's a little turd. Your dog sometimes. And it's in duffels. He doesn't like it. And that is not going to go well in the shelter. So because shelters do the best they can with these dogs, but they don't train and to help these dogs with other issues. So then what makes a dog like this is you get trouble now in the United States is have to give this dog a big kennel. A dog like this can be better with 2 or 3, depending on base available. Others really hard to get resources, which is tough. The situation like in being a owner, being an owner that can help work through that. And
yeah, believe it or not, about a month ago, maybe a little more, I found a Zod rune in,
think about you. There are people you just don't.
where was it?
And you work through it. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It makes him a bad dog.
Anyways, I found a Zod rune in Lower KURAST. No, not Lower the Flare Jungle when it was terrorized. First Zod rune I've ever found. And I've been playing this game for 20 years.
Okay. Isn't exactly warm up to me. Really? Yes. That's how I got started here at this shelter. Dog walker. And level 2 takes a dog walker that has experience. Dogs. Mostly reserved for like giant mastiffs. Be on the lead really. Just terrified. Level 2 dog walking for dogs. He doesn't see as much because you kind of just pick them up. I avoided trying to do that. They deserve it. You can't do that. And then he's level 2 dog walking. His outweighs his actual size. Yeah. Okay, and I'm laughing about it. Especially makes it hard. Let's try positive action. And see if I can get. I just curse him to see if I can. Yeah, oh, yeah. If we could do love letters, right, and all that stuff, because he's marking it. Yeah, that would be good. Example of we want to get
Stay a while
to the
and
shelter
listen.
because you see this guy, you know that it can help. His little personality. It's okay to see how jumpy he is. We have room in your home as big as him that you can really get him. But understand that he needs to eat and only the house for you have to be to work him. We're the right one for him. Let's give you some guidance. You don't have faith in there. We're safe here. We're going to give you.
From here, we are going to give you all the pets.
Hydrated food, entertainment themselves. You're safe. Everything you've been through made you this strong. There. Because we're going to focus. And so, love you as much as you love there. Everything you've been through, first of all, you're a good boy. So I want to name him something that is strong, loving, and Luke would be good, huh? I think you like Luke, don't you? What do you, buddy? You're a good boy. You are a good boy. Yeah.
All dogs, except for Chow Chows, are good boys.
I bet I could do the scoop.
Sorry, I don't like Chow Chows. They're assholes. Only dog breed I don't
I
like.
think he enjoyed that name. Not because he is, I think he's here for it. That's scoop. Are you ready for the scoop, buddy? Come on here. There we go. Eggs under. Here. Love. You need some more pop. Here, Luke, I'm gonna put that right there. Feel like you've been handed off person to person. May not have cared about you. No one stepped up when it was time to say, he's with me. Like you're a fierce protector. Boy.
A fierce protector.
It would be so loving and so kind. Someone would just return the shoulder.
Alright guys, that's it for today.
Here's what I want to do with Luke.
It's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun. See y'all on Monday.